Solo is tough, especially if you play high roller and you want to get better loot because high roller has better loot, but players are more experienced and they have better gear. You just want to make it happen and you want to be successful and make a lot of money, but you don't know how to, and you're a bit scared of queuing into high roller with like your unique set you have, and you don't know what to do and how to improve. So today I'm gonna help you with all the tips and the trick I've accumulated throughout the wipes. I'm gonna share it to you and teach you how to be successful. Before we move on, let me introduce myself because I know a lot of you guys are new to the channel and you don't really know like my background. So I've played since early access season 0. I've got like 3,000 hours playing only solo wizard most of the time. I would say like 80% of the time. As you can see here, these are my stats throughout like the 3 different seasons from early access season 0 to season 3. I've got like almost 800 games played, 1,100 kill and 82 death. If you do the math, that's approximately like 13.6 KD, which means I kill in average 13 people before I die. So I make profit on most of my runs. And to achieve this level of consistency, you need something that's not mechanical or gear. It's something I believe is the most important thing, is preparation. So I'm gonna ask you guys like a few questions, and you guys try to come up with like an answer. It's better if you have it. If you don't have it, it's okay. The first one is gonna be, why are you queuing into the dungeon? When you press the start button, what are you expecting from the next run that's coming? Are you here for loot, for PvP, to make profit, or something else? The next one is, what is your strength, your class, weaknesses, and how should you play differently because you have this build or this class? And finally, the last one is map knowledge. When you queue into like a map, you should know that there are different modules. Most of them can be advantages for like melee, some for ranged, and some for like ambush. So if you play wizard, maybe it's good to avoid those modules where it's really like heavy melee, or like good for rogue, or like a lot of pillars, right? So all this question you should ask yourself and try to think about them. If you have the best preparation when you get into like a PvP scenario or like any scenario into the run, you'll be way more comfortable like fighting than if you didn't prepare for them. Now I'm gonna talk about map knowledge. So I'm gonna take the game 2 for example, where I actually spawn here. Wait, hold on. Let me make this a bit bigger so you guys can actually see. So I spawn in here, right? So usually the thing not to do is to go toward the middle, because that's like where most of the people go. And like what's gonna happen is like most people try to go towards the middle like this. So that's why there's like a lot of people in the middle usually, and you get third party easily. So instead of this, this should be the path you should be taking. You roam around the map, following the corners and the edges, and when you're done, it's like 60%, 70% of the map time. Then you go to the middle. You can go check this room, and then you can also go check gift room. This is where the loot is basically. This is where is the loot. By doing this, you're able to check not only to one spawn, but there's one spawn here usually. Sometimes people also spawn in jail. Sometimes people also spawn here in the river. You're able to check all the spawn. And for example, like if these two here fight, like that guy fight him, you can come behind them and third party. And if these guys are not fighting, you're probably fighting the guy next to you. And these two are fighting, so you have a fair 1v1 right here. So this is why you should always follow corners. And at the end, or like 70%, 80%, you go middle to collect the guy who actually killed the other guys. And you kill him. You have a fair 1v1, and the reward at the end is really high. Because the guy killed other people, he probably has like all the loot on him, or he did cave show or cyclone. So you just collect him, and then you can take like this extract here, or like the one in the river, or like anyone that you're comfortable taking. So I'm gonna give you guys my example. My goal when I queue into the dungeon is to make profit. So I need to kill a minimum number of people and make money before I die. So I prioritize 1v1s and safe fight. If I get into like a bad matchup, usually I try to get into a good position before fighting. If I see that it's not possible, I'm not gonna risk everything because most of the time I run really expensive kits. So if I die, it's not worth it. And sometimes you don't know what your opponent is running. So even if you kill him, his kit might not be worth anything. So my goal, make profit. How? Take a fair 1v1 on the map, then extract. So what's the build I run right now? Right now I'm running like Rondel Dagger Crystal Bow build. So the build strength is like you have like a melee and a ranged option with the Rondel and the Crystal Bow. On top of this, you're really tanky for like melee fights because you have Arcane Shield, Ice Shield, and Reactive Shield, which makes you like potential like 180 HP and really good in melee with the Rondel and Ignite. So I know I can take fights against like Plate Fighters, a Bard, sometimes Barbarian too. I also have the crossbow option when I run into like a Wizard or like a Warlock. But the weakness of this build is I don't run Overload. So my spell charges are really low. After one fight, usually, I need to reset immediately. So when I fight someone, I try to fight him in a close module where I can finish the fight super fast and then reset immediately. So that's my mindset, that's my strength, and that's my weaknesses on this build. You should ask yourself the same question when you use a build and or like any class, basically. So while I was chasing this cleric for like 5 minutes, I actually took the time to reset twice to get my spells. Because if I kill him and there's another guy who pull up, like I'm probably dead because I have no spells left. So I make sure to have at least like 4 zaps and like 3 or 4 fireballs and most of my missile before fighting him. So I don't chase him and W key like a stupid player. I actually take my time. And if the guy doesn't push me, I just see it and place down the campfire. Then I move on. Here I'm using the Turno to my advantage. It's an advantageous position for me because I know he's not running any spells. He hasn't casted any spells since I was chasing him, so he's mostly melee heavy. So I use the Turno, and if he pushed me inside the Turno, I can just missile him down. And I know most players don't know how to block missile in the tunnel, and you can see in the following clip. Here I actually make a mistake, but it's fine because we're almost at the end of the match, so there shouldn't be many players in that area, and especially on the map, most of them either extracted or are dead. So I loot him because I know I don't have to reset immediately. But if you really want to make it perfect, you have to reset immediately and loot after. So after killing him, I would actually go back to like the room before and put down a campfire, then come back to loot. And here comes the Warlock. I know a lot of you guys are scared of fighting Warlock. And you can see in this fight, I don't have a single fireball in my hand. But even though I don't have a single fireball, I take the fight. Because I know he's in the bad situation. If you look closely, he has nowhere to go, and I'm actually jumping him because he doesn't see me coming. So this is a good fight. And I know how to play against Warlock. I use my range. You can see in the clip, I actually zap him twice before he actually curses me once. And because I'm using zap range against Curse of Pain range. Zap is 8 meters and Curse of Pain is 7.5. So you have 0.5 range to play around. And you can see I hit him zap just at the edge of the range, and he cannot hit me back. And once I hit him twice, I just push him and like dagger him to death. But what if the Warlock just started running away? Do you guys think I would chase him? No, because I'm running out of spells. I would actually just put down a campfire, then chase him. There's no way he's running too far. He's probably like close to the nearest static, which is 2 modules right side. So that was really weird, but when I was roaming around the map, I didn't find a single player. So I ended up going cave throw down there, and I found like a fighter solo, who actually did cave throw, I think, because he had throw spawn on him. And you guys can just like watch the fight. Okay, maybe let's not talk about the fight, but more about the current run. The fighter here took all the risk by doing boss right at the beginning of the run. He probably fought like multiple players, but he came on top and survived. So he did cave throw and looted down there for me. Me, I took no risk. I roamed around the map, and then I ended up in cave throw at the end. I just collected him, got his kit and his loot, and then I extracted. So I took almost no risk in this game, and I got the reward of someone who took a lot of risk to do the boss. If you do this consistently, it's really easy to extract safely and with a lot of gear, and you can just spam this strategy every game. This strategy actually works on every other map too. You just need to figure out a safe way to path based on the class you're playing. Fighter. Good. Dude, I'm cooked. I'm gonna fireball here so he cannot close the door. There you go. You see, like here, I switched to fireball instead of zap. Because if I miss the zap, he can close the door. But fireball, I just go for splash. If I don't hit him anyway, the door is broken, so I can push.